Hi everybody, it's Tommy Jo at Bird Street Studio. I thought I would hop on and show you how I make covers, tags, and ephemera out of all my saved cardboard. Like how I these boxes right here are just broke down a little bit. These I have totally broke down, so they store quite well. I have a shelf and I put them in, and then when I need to make covers or tags or ephemera, I pull from these. But I'm going to show you how I break these down to get a pile like this, and then I've printed out some digital paper and show you kind of how I make a tag or journal cards out of them. So I'm going to put these aside because these are already pretty condensed. And I thought I would just show you these. So I make journals a lot of different sizes. And so the first thing I want to do though is I'm not sure what size, so I'm going to cut these boxes open. So usually when you have a cardboard box like this, there is a side that has a little bit of an overlap. So I break that open, and so that you can lay it flat. And then I do not use these end pieces, so I cut these off. And I usually do this like when I'm watching other people's videos, trying to get some ideas. They teach me how to do different things. So this is a really good project to condense all your cardboard, saved cardboard down. My cutter is not a real heavy duty cutter, so I just use scissors to cut these pieces off. And I don't know about you, but I end up at the end of, say, a week or so with quite a bit of cardboard. So at some point you have to make a decision to recycle some of this. So that's why I don't really use these end pieces. I used to try to use them, but the storage just becomes cumbersome. Okay, so what I have here is the box like this. So you need a front and a back and a side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece off. Okay, now this is pretty wide. Let's see how wide this is. Yeah, this is 2.5 inches wide before I get to this kind of icky part. So I'm going to keep this piece right here to make a couple tags out of. But basically then I would just fold this down like this, and this is how it would store flat. So I'm going to pick a couple other ones just so you can see. Oh, the girl across the street saved me her boxes too and brought them over. So let's cut this one. This was a little different, but I do have a front, a back, and an edge. And these are pretty narrow, but they might make good small tags. And so I think I'm just going to cut off these ends, and I will save this piece as well. And we'll cut this one off, and because this has glue on it, I'm not going to save it. And this one's pretty wrinkled, so I will not save that either. This box is kind of neat because it's a lighter weight cardboard. So if you were making tags in that, it's not real heavy and hard. These are these pieces here that I'm cutting off, I'm going to recycle. So okay, then we've got another one that we can lay flat to go in our pile. So that's basically how I break them down. I have a tissue box, I have cereal boxes. So I'm just looking to save good cardboard, but not, you know, not worry about it too much. You even have a Italian ice box here, like this one. Maybe I'll cut this one down to show you too, because it's pretty ratty, but I'll show you how we can save it. So this is really pretty nice. So I'm just going to cut this end off. And these edges. Go straight across. See how wide. Oh, that is pretty wide as well. So I'm gonna maybe cut this glue off. And this edge. And then this is the scored part of the box right here. This little edge. Okay. Save that. This one's got a lot of glue down quite a ways, so I'm not gonna save this edge. Okay, so I'm going to put all these in my recycle, which I have underneath my desk. And here's this box. And you know, there's a chance that I could make a smaller journal out of this. I think the spine, I'll probably have to take it apart, but that's a 3-inch spine. However, height-wise, this is only 6 1/4 inches, which is usually much smaller, but I do make like 8.5 by 6, so I could cut this down and use other cardboard for a spine. Either way, I could also make tags out of it, which is what I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to move these other boxes and I will cut those down after. So right now we have this piece right here, which I'm going to go ahead and cut. And then these, I will cut this one because this has, well, let me see if this is, oh yeah, so I could actually pull that glue off and that would give me a little bit bigger piece. So let me see what we got to cut here. So right now this piece is about 13 inches. So a good size tag is about 5.5 inches. So if I do 5.5, okay, and then we'll do another 5.5. Put that in recycle. And this one is currently 8 inches, so we could do a couple 4-inch tags. So let's cut this down to 4 inches. And then that looks like a pretty good size. I think I'm just going to trim the score part off of this and straighten it up a little bit. see how long we are. Right now it is about 6 inches, and I don't really want a tag that long, so let's straighten this edge, and then we'll cut it down to 5.5. So if we do 5.5, okay, so we got that one. Okay, so you get the idea. These right here are currently 9 by 6. So we could make them like 4.5 by 6 maybe. Let me see. If we do 4, well, we got to straighten this edge, so we could make a couple of larger journaling cards out of these, or we could make tags. Let's see if we do 4.5. Okay, 4.5, and then this ends up being a little over 6. So let's make it 6. Sorry. So these will make good sized journaling cards. Make this one, I think this is straighter, so let's do Okay, so you get the idea. I'll put this aside and do that later. What size is this one? Okay, let's make this 5.5. Let me open this back up real quick. Okay. Put these in recycle. So anyways, so then we end up with a couple of journal cards, some tags that we can use. And normally I would decorate this side, and then this side would be a writing side. We could do the same here. Now this one's got some tape on it, so I'm going to, I could maybe cover that with some coffee dyed paper. I'm going to get the score lines off. Okay, so I happened to print out some paper here. I thought this was really pretty. So I thought we would try to make a couple tags out of this. So this is how I would attempt this. Get my glue book out. And then I am going to go ahead and glue this with a glue stick. I'm going to probably sew these. So I just need them to adhere to the paper. Let's try this way. Okay, let's try another one. This is a really good way to get your cardboard under control and start tags and get them in your ephemera box to finish when you do a journal. Because you're not, I don't really know what theme journal I would use these for just yet. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, we have that'll be a perfect journaling card. So let's put that one on there. I wouldn't use a glue stick on heavy cardboard. If I wasn't going to sew it, I would probably use tacky glue or art glitter glue. But I know that I'm going to sew these, so I'll put that right on the edge. Perfect. And then let's see what I have here. I could probably put that one on there and maybe a small one on there. I don't think this one will fit. Oh, we can put a small one on there. So let's do this. I don't know if I'm like off camera or whatever. I'm trying not to be off camera, but, and then we just have to, we can put one right here. So I'm going to use this small piece. And there we go. Okay, so they're all on, and they're not like stuck real well. I can see some of the corners are coming up, but that's fine because we're going to sew them. I'm going to put the rest of these pieces off to the side. Then we're going to go ahead and cut these out. And I usually just do that with scissors. This out of the way. This one's got a little bit of the score line still on the cardboard. I forgot to cut it off, so I'm just going to trim that off when I trim the paper. There's that. And this will go in my scrap bin, and these will go in my recycle. And right now, all I'm doing is trimming the paper off the cardboard where it kind of overhangs. Sorry. Oh, that's going to be a pretty card. Oh, these are going to be really pretty. Okay, so let's see. Let's get rid of this. And basically, what I wanted to show you was any of the ones that are solid and have no glue on them, I would leave them just like that and then move forward with sewing. But we do have, and this one is fine, but we do have a couple that have glue on them. So I'm going to grab my, I've got some packing paper that I can just glue onto the back of that. So let's do that. And that way this will be, this glue piece will be covered up. And this packing paper is pretty thin, so I'll still be able to sew this card. It won't add a lot of bulk or anything to it. And we'll do this one as well. then we will just trim this off. This will go in recycle. And let's see what color. Okay, I have a pretty basic neutral thread on my machine, so I'm gonna real quick hop over here and sew around the edges of these. Well, first we want to cut these, so I want this right side up, so I'm going to make a tag out of this one. So we'll make this into a tag. And then I'm just going to turn this one right side up, and I'm going to use this one as a template. And then this is a tag as well, and this the writing kind of goes sideways, so I guess it really doesn't matter what direction. So, and I didn't use these as a template because this is a narrower tag, so I didn't want as big of a pieces taken off the top edge. Really pretty. And this one, I don't want to cut any of this blue off, so I guess I'll do it right here. Okay, so now these are ready to go in the sewing machine. I'm going to go ahead and sew around the edges, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and these are all sewn around. I don't know if you can see, I just zigzagged around the bottoms, then straight stitched along the top. Just trim that thread off. It's a pretty neutral thread. So now we have a small tag. We have two, this is a narrow tag, and then we have these two that we covered with craft paper on the back, packing paper, and a journaling tag. And then the only other thing I would do before decorating, and I wouldn't decorate these now because I'm not sure what the theme of the journal is that I would do, is I would go ahead and round the corners, because just about all my tags or journaling cards get rounded corners because they go into pockets and tucks a lot easier if the corners are rounded. Just preference. And I also won't distress any of the edges yet, because I'm not sure if I would want to do them in an antique color or a blue color. So I would just put these in my ephemera box that still, you know, needs to be decorated. If you watched the last video, this is a digital out of the kit. The last video I did was how to make envelopes, and the digital paper that I printed out had a bunny on it, and this is another paper from that kit. And I just loved it. I love these blues, the blue colors. But anyways, so there we go. Out of the boxes, we got these tags done already, and they are ready to decorate. Okay, so these are the tags and cards that we made, and I wanted to show you one more thing. So when I'm going to bring back out the stack of cardboard that's already flattened. These are cardboards that I have already flattened, and I'm not sure how big I'm going to make them, but I do see that I have some cut. So I wanted to show you. Let me find one here. I thought, oh, here's one. Okay, that's a pretty good size. So I've got it paper clipped together because it looks like I already cut it down. This one as well. It's got a narrower spine. Let's pull this one out. So basically what this is, okay, is I have cut these pieces to be, let's measure them. So this one is 6, which is what my journals usually are. And then this is 9. Now I would normally make my journal, because I use 8.5 inch paper, I would make it 8 3/4. So I think I'm going to cut these two pieces down, to 8 3/4. And then I'm going to show you how I put them together before I cover them. So if I do 8 3/4, be about like that. Okay, and we'll do this one. And we'll do this one. Okay, so now I have 3 pieces, and in my mind, this is what I'm thinking, is that I want this to be the outside, because if I use a material that you can see anything through, I don't want to be seeing any of this printing. So I'll lay it out with this being the inside, which I normally cover the inside of my journals with paper. So right now, all I'm going to do is, I'm using my lines, and I'm just going to lay this out. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap in between these pieces for it to open and close easily. And then I wanted to show you what I use. See, I use the self-adhesive linen hinging tape. And it's really for like pictures and that you're going to mat or something. But I use it for hooking these together. I either use this or I will use a paper. I get paper at work, paper packaging, and it's like Tyvek paper. So this is 8 3/4. So I'm just going to cut a piece. See. Just going to mark it. So I'm going to cut 2 of these, and they don't have to be perfect. Okay. But this tape, or the Tyvek tape, is very sturdy. So I know that it's going to hold them quite, really well. But this is how I would start my covers, okay? And this is self-adhesive. So I'm going to turn these this way because I'm going to have to lay them down here, and probably, I hope I don't get my head in here. I'm just kind of trying to line these up. And I'm using this line here. Okay. Then I peel this off. Okay. And then I just lay it down like that. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it and do this one. And this is pretty much how I do all my covers if I make them out of these cardboard boxes. I'm just leaving a space here for it to be able to bend easily. Okay. And then I will just trim the tape. And I don't do the inside because I will have paper on there and stuff to hold it, so it'll be fine. So basically, this would be the beginning of a cover. So I just wanted to show you how I went from these boxes, okay, cut them down and flatten them for storage into these, okay, which are a lot more manageable, and how when I have leftover pieces, okay, these are the leftover pieces, I'm able to make tags and journal cards, and then the beginning of a journal. So this journal would end up being 6 inches by 8 3/4, because I normally make my journals 8.5 by 11 inch paper folded in half for the signatures, and so this is a perfect fit for it. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this and it gave you some ideas to get started on your journals and how you can kind of move ahead and store your cardboard, keep it manageable. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and you got some good ideas. Subscribe, help my channel grow, and ring the bell if you'd like to get notified when I have new content going up. As always, thank you to my subscribers, old and new. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.